Okay, hi everyone. Um, for this evening's class, you will either need 2 blocks or a block and a bolster is really good if you've got a bolster. If you haven't, 2 blocks or 2 cushions, something that you can make up as or an extra mat as a bolster. I'm going to start off the old-fashioned way, as we used to do just in Yin Yoga, and just sitting on the floor with your bolster on an incline. So I've got the block underneath the head end, so that when I lie up the bolster, I am on an upward incline. Tuck your tailbone under and let your arms relax, palms upwards, knees apart if you can. If that's not comfortable, legs straight. And then once you've got yourself in position and you're comfortable, relax. And we'll start off here for a few minutes breathing. So close your mouth and start to breathe through your nose. Breathe more consciously into your body, as if you have the power to spread the breath with better diffusion into your whole body, into every cell, out to the surface. And then let's take a bit of Dirga Pranayama. So we're bringing the breath in from the belly, up into the lower lungs, and then into the upper lungs on the inhale. And then you exhale. So empty your lungs completely. Breathe in belly, lower lungs, upper lungs. Pause the breath, full breath. And then exhale slowly out through your nose. Breathing in belly, continuing to lower lungs, continuing to upper lungs. Feel full, hold the breath. And slow exhale. Go again. Complete your exhale. This time we're going to make it like it's a lift and it's stopping at each floor. So from empty lungs, breathe in the belly, and then as if the lift has stopped, pause. Breathe in the lower lungs, and again let the lift feel like it's stopped and paused. Breathe into your upper lungs, so you're at the top floor. Hold the breath, pause. And then exhale slowly. Two more rounds. Belly. Pause. Make the breath feel light inside. Lower lungs. Pause. Try and feel expansive. Upper lungs. Pause. No strain. Exhale all the air out. One more round. At the completion of your exhale, breathe normally. And then you can use your hands to lift your head if you need to. Head up first, push into your hands and make your way up. You're going to cross your left leg towards your right leg. And I'll just turn slightly. You don't need to turn, but so your knees will be off the long edge of your mat. I'm going to turn to show you how the legs align themselves. So your top leg ankle rests in the instep of your bottom foot, and the top foot is pointing back away from you, and the bottom foot is pointing out to the side, so it becomes like a little rest for your ankle. The knees separate slightly and they should be touching the floor. And then we're just taking a twist, so bring your left hand onto your right knee, and then the right hand will turn, so you're essentially turning to face your bolster, your blocks. And keep twisting round and gaze over your right shoulder. look forwards, come back around to center, bring the soles of your feet together and rearrange your sit bones back into evenness again. Now bring your right knee across to the left. So now your right foot points and you rest the ankle or shin in the instep of your left foot, which is pointing out. And then again, your knees separate slightly so the legs can settle. Right hip becomes a bit heavier. And then twist toward the bolster, right hand pressing on left knee or thigh. Continue to turn and look over your back shoulder. And then turn your head back round, open your knee back out so you're back into Baddha Konasana, the soles of your feet together, knees open, fingers pressed behind so you can get the spine tall. And then turn your left knee to your right knee again. So this time you're going to press it into your right hand and your right knee and straighten the left leg out. Take your left arm up overhead and reach long as you arch the top hip up toward the sky, to the ceiling, whatever's above you. You can look forwards, you can look down to your hand at the floor, a little bit easier in the neck, or you can look underneath your arm and stretch your eyes up toward the palm. Press flat in your left foot. Get a little bit higher in the left edge of your body. And then bring your arm down, lower your bottom down, bending the legs, soles of the feet together as you turn carefully back round onto both sit bones. Press into your fingers and elevate the sides of your body, your chest. Bring your right knee round toward the left knee. So pushing into your left hand, left knee, straighten your right leg out. Take your right arm up overhead. Arc the hips upwards. Pressing the foot flat. And again, you could look underneath your arm and roll your eyes to the palm. Feel the skin on the top side of your body stretching, opening out. And then bring your arm back down, your hips back down. Once more, Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together. I use my hands to kind of lift my bottom and replace it back onto the floor. Inhale. And then exhale, soles of the feet come down for a squat. So I'd like you to shuffle back and sit on either the block or the bolster, whatever you were using. Bring your heels in as close as you can for your squat, toes slightly turned out. And then you're going to walk your hands in front of you as if you're doing like child's pose, like how you would walk your arms out in front, but keep your hips back on the bolster and just see how far you can go. So it feels like your thighs and your hips are reaching back, rolling back, as your spine and your arms are reaching forwards. Just let your head be even with the forward arch of your spine. Walk your hands in a bit closer and then turn your toes forwards. Straighten your legs so you're in a forward bend over your legs. Hold on to opposite elbows and press your elbows into your hands. And then feel your hands kind of pulling your elbows down. Forearms get closer to the floor. And for this downward direction, you want to relax your back, the sides of your waist, your belly. You get longer in the lower spine, decompressing the lower spine. Knees can be a little bent if you need them to. As you release your arms, just turn around on your feet, leave your bolster and blocks there, and come into a downward facing dog with your hands either side of your bolster. Legs back, downward dog. Look through the gap of your legs. Keep a steady gaze, soft gaze. But while we're moving in and out of poses, keep the eyes open for the most part. When you get to Yin, maybe then there's an invitation for the eyes to close. Step your right foot in place of your right hand. Keep the back knee off the floor and come into a high lunge position. So your shoulders come over your hips, back leg is pressing straight, heel is off the floor. Take both arms up and turn your thumbs back, your little fingers forwards. Keep your front knee bent and your back leg straight. Hug your lower belly up and in a bit more. Drop your left hand between your shoulder blades and hold the elbow with your right hand. Push the left elbow up into your right hand and use your right hand to guide it up as well. Keep the flow of your breath smooth and even through your nose. You're going to take the left hand down to the floor, and for now your right hand on your hip. So you've got a nice long lunge, you want to be long through the back leg. Start to turn your chest toward the right and feel when you initially do that, quite possibly the left thigh drops a little, the left hip feels like it's dropped a bit lower. So push the left thigh up slightly so it feels straighter and squeeze your right hip in more. Then extend your right arm as you turn from your spine without letting the left hip drop. Keep squeeze the right hip in. Rotate from the belly up into your chest. When your hand comes down, lower the back knee down onto the floor or use some cushioning under your knee. Bring both hands onto the front block and lunge. So your chest is up high and you're lunging the front of the left thigh forwards. I always tuck my back toes because my kneecap feels more protected, but it's fine for your back toes to be pointed. Lift the chest up, maybe even come onto fingertips, but we're elevated with the arms because we're on the block or the bolster. Breathe long up the front of your body. And then the left hand's going to go down to the left side of the mat. Try bending your left leg. Don't worry if you can't. So if you can't, just leave it on the floor. If you have, then reach your right arm around behind. Try catching hold of your left foot. Pull slightly in with the left foot. So you're turning a bit more and the front of the thigh opens a bit more. Keep the right big toe pressing to the floor. Release your back leg and then straighten your right leg out as you shift your hips back a little bit. Come onto your fingertips or put your hands back onto your inclined bolster. So the left hip is above the left knee and you're going to try and straighten your right leg out with the toes pulling upwards. And then both of your two sit bones are going to try and lift up and back a little, like they're trying to slide upwards and push to the skin of your bottom. At the same time, try and look a little forwards and stretch your breastbone forward so the spine lengthens. Right toes lifting toward the right shoulder. Bring your right foot in a little bit closer so you can stand flat on your right foot and then come up to a one knee lunge. Or one knee kneeling, I should say. Good, and then put your left hand on the back of the pelvis, so you're giving something stable there and firm your belly toward the hand on the back of your pelvis. Your right hand can keep holding the right thigh as you lift your breastbone up and keep your belly firm. Stay looking forwards. Inhale as you come up, and then bring your right knee down to the floor. Onto both hands and downward facing dog, slowly up. And this time, pedal the heels with bent knees, one heel down, one heel up. So you're not going into the full downward dog yet. Your knees are bent and you're pedaling the heels up and down. Then even your legs out. The sit bones are trying to lift up and also press out to the back of your bottom. Step the left foot forwards in place of your left hand. Keep the right knee off the ground and then come up, high lunge. Arms lift. Thumbs back, middle fingers long. Little fingers trying to stretch up to be as long as the middle fingers. So it's almost like your tricep skin. The triceps are facing forward here. The tricep skin is stretching up toward the little fingers. Right hand drops between the shoulders, holding the elbow and pressing your elbow up into your hand. Keep the back thigh firm. And again, see if you can zip and lift your lower belly in and slightly back without having to straighten your left leg out. Then the right hand comes down to the floor, left hand on left hip. Start to twist, and as you twist to the left, notice how, if you weren't thinking about it too much, your right hip would sink down lower. So push the right hip up a little bit more, so it's level with the left hip, and squeeze the left hip in a bit more. Then turn from your spine and chest and lift the arm. Look up maybe. And bring your hand down, your knee down, hands onto your cushioning, and lift your chest. Front knee is about in line with your front foot. Back knee shuffles back to the point where you feel you're lunging long in the front of your right thigh. It's opening up. Stay there, or right hand can come down to the floor and catch hold of your right foot with your left hand, drawing the heel in. If you're not holding your foot, your hand just remains on your hip as you twist. So it's the same twist as earlier, except we're just adding a bit more oomph if we're bringing the heel in. Shoulders relax down. Release your back foot, straighten out your front leg, and then coming long in your arms. Left toes point up, get your spine long. Couple more breaths. The sit bones feel like they're pulling back and up. I mean, even you won't notice there's any movement, but it's an intention for the sit bones. And then bring the left foot in a bit flatter to the floor, so it's directly below your knees. You come up to a one knee kneeling. Left hand stays on left leg, right hand on the back of the pelvis, firm your belly, and then start to lift your chest a little, arcing slightly as if you're leaning over a really high barrel. Keep the chin in though and look forwards. Keep your belly firm, and then come up. Bring the hands down and both knees down. Spread your fingers, downward dog. And we're going to bend and straighten both knees. So both knees bend, and then both legs straighten a bit more. They don't have to fully straighten. Bend. Particularly if you're tighter in the back of the legs, they won't straighten fully. I just want you to keep them soft so you're not quite going into your full downward dog. Couple more. And then walk your hands towards your feet. So you're walking away from your bolster. And your feet are hip distance apart. You can check that 2 fists should fit between your feet, your inner feet. Bring your hands onto your hips, bend your knees, look toward the top end of your mat, sitting your hips down a little into a chair. Squeeze the sit bones slightly, take your arms in front and feel your weight going back a bit as your arms go forwards. The weight of your legs and your torso goes further back into your heels. Take your arms all the way up, straighten up. And then bring your arms down by your side. Mountain pose, arms by your side and legs strong. Feel the muscles of your legs gathering up your legs. Strong in your belly, open in your chest. Balance on your right leg and try taking hold of your left foot, knee points down. You can stay like that or start to kick your left foot back away from your bottom. I'll turn to the side so you're facing still the long edge of your mat. Right arm goes out in front. As you start to lift the left thigh behind you, pushing the foot into your hand as you do so, you might then start to tip forwards. This time the left hip will over lift. So try and keep the left hip facing down as the left thigh pushes up and the foot keeps pushing in your hand. Come all the way up and then release your foot back down to the floor. Arms down, mountain pose. Center yourself evenly over both legs. Bend your right leg, catch hold of your foot. Have, first of all, your first point is just the knee pointing down, feeling a stretch in the front of your thigh. It's fine to stay there. Otherwise, left arm forwards. Start pushing your right thigh away from your bottom, heel pushing away from your bottom into your hand. Maybe that causes you to start tipping forwards at the pelvis. The pressure of your leg pressing back into your hands has nowhere to go other than to start tipping you forwards. Right hip facing down as the right heel pushes up. Make your way back up again. Place your foot down to the floor, back into mountain pose. Shoulders level, arms long. Go back into chair again, sitting your hips back, taking your arms forwards. And bend forwards, place your hands down to the floor and come to downward facing dog. Walking your hands forwards again. The barking will stop in a minute if you can hear it. Someone's just coming up the lane. Take both heels off the ground and lower your knees down. Take child's pose so that you're resting your head on the lowest edge of your bolster. Arms in front. Nice and easy child's pose. And then bring your knees forwards to the edge of your bolster and 2 fists again, measured between your knees. Tuck your toes under and bring both hands onto the back of the pelvis, firming your belly toward the heel of your hands. So the tailbone drops and there's a zip up in the lower belly. Elbows draw back, keep looking forwards and arc the chest up. Very similar to how you did when you had one foot stepped in front. Keep lifting your chest, keep the belly firm, tailbone down. You don't have to go as far as I am, just a little lift in your chest is fine. Inhale as you come up. And then hands down wide on the bolster. Take your knees wide onto the edge of the bolster. So you're going to kind of use the incline of your bolster now to rest down onto your right cheek, looking to the left. And just let your arms wrap around the far end. Okay, and then come back up and we're going to try 1 second one. So knees come back to the edge of your bolster, 2 fists gap between your knees, toes tucked under, hands to the back of the pelvis, tailbone drops, belly zips in. You can repeat the same thing, just lifting the breastbone, keep your gaze forwards, or as you arc back, maybe if you dangle your hand and you can easily touch your heel, you take your hands to your heels, keep lifting the chest. For some of you, it might be okay to look to the ceiling and let your head go a little further. If your head has gone back, leave it back, lift up with the chest first, and then all the way up through the spine, hands down either side of the bolster. Take your knees wide, straddle the bolster again, and turn onto your left cheek. Just letting your arms just wrap around the front end, maybe the block underneath. And then a downward facing dog. Walk your hands and feet towards each other and turn around on your feet. So now your bolster is behind you. Lower your bottom down onto the bolster into a squat position like you did earlier. Quite nice doing a squat in the bolster. And then bring your feet a bit further forwards and lower to sitting on the floor. Straighten your left leg out in front and cross your right foot to the outside of the left knee. We'll take a twist, wrapping your left arm around the leg, right hand on the bolster behind or just beyond the bolster. Go over your back shoulder. And then turn to center, uncross that foot and bring the right heel towards your right hip. You can sit on the edge of the bolster if you need to, and this is where your second block can come in. Put it at the far end of the your bolster so it's up tall, so it's as high as the block can go, especially if you're sat on your bolster. If you can sit on the floor with your heel by your hip, then sit on the floor. If you can't bend your knee that far, then have your foot on the inside of the leg instead. Okay, we're just going to take a release twist to the left, so just a small twist round to the left. And in center. Good, so from here, tuck your bottom under toward the furthest end of your mat and then start to lay your spine down up your bolster until your head rests either at the top of the bolster or maybe on the block behind for those people who are sitting on the bolster. That's why you've got the block there, because if you're further up, your head might fall off the end, so make sure it's not falling off the end. If your bolster is too high, take the block out from underneath and go down lower. From here, you can leave your arms by your side, or you could take your arms up overhead, maybe just loosely interlacing your fingers. This is where your second block could come in again. You could put it underneath your hands so they don't have to go all the way down to the floor. Or you might go somewhere in between and just take your arms out wide so they fall off wide off the bolster. That's really nice to open up the center of your chest. I'm going to hold it here for another 2.5 minutes. Anything becomes too much, especially with your arms overhead, then bring them down. Or add more height to your spine if it's too much in the right thigh or knee. For those of you whose arms are overhead, bring them down first. Tuck your chin, look forwards, and then push into your hands so you come up. Roll towards your left side. Carefully undo your right leg and straighten it out in front of you, maybe holding the back of the thigh just to limit the amount of muscular effort in the leg. And then once both legs are straight, put your hands on your thighs or the floor and just pause, sitting for a moment. So the left leg bends in, foot to the outside of your right knee. Right arm wraps around to twist. Look over your back shoulder. Your hand can be on the floor, the bolster, or the far side of the bolster as you twist, depending on how far you go. It's not about how far you can take your arm though. Sit tall. Feel your sit bones are rooted as your spine rotates. Look forwards, undo the twist. Uncross your foot. Lean slightly to the right and bring the left heel next to the left hip. So you should be able to get both sit bones on the ground or sit up on your bolster so that you're more level across the pelvis. What you don't want to start with this one is that you're leaning to the side and then laying back. Yeah, so get both sit bones down, sit on the bolster if you need to. Take the little D rotation the other way. Then to center, so squaring yourself up, tucking the bottom under as you go back. Maybe you have to bring the extra block in for your head to rest on. Maybe you make your bolster lower or higher. Arms by your side, out wide, or if you want to go overhead, go overhead. I definitely need something for my arms to rest on if they're going overhead, so just see what it's like for you. Okay, bring your arms down. Head lifts first, then make your way up. Lean over to the right to carefully release the left leg. Hold the back of the left leg as it straightens out to the floor. Pause, sitting. Good. And then turn around to your bolster. Straddle your bolster first. Hands onto it, and then just lean forwards a little way. It might be that you bring your block onto your bolster and put your head on it like this. Or maybe you don't even come onto it at all and you just put your arms on your bolster like this. If you can go further down, you can lay down, maybe bringing the block in for your head. Just see where you get to. We're just going to take a minute only here. Then make your way up. Turn it round so it becomes a knee prop, and then lie down on your back. So it's underneath the back of your knees, heels on the floor, and relax. Savasana, supporting the knees if you've got something for them. Savasana can be translated as corpse pose, suggesting that we become very still. Get all your little fidgets out of the way and become still. Then it really highlights the movement of your breath and the autonomic movements as you relax where you can. You observe the movement. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bring your feet in flat. Push the bolster away, turn to your side. Making your way up to sitting. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.